Today we're hanging out at 6 Point Harness and going to be talking about one of the most anticipated movies of the year. Brendan, Ed, thanks for hanging out with us.
Sure, thanks for having us.
Yeah, man, we're very excited about Dick Figures, the movie. Give us a little history on Dick Figures.
Well, it started in November of 2010 and just started as like a single episode. We just put it online.
What is wrong with your voice?
There ain't nothing wrong with my voice, shawty.
Didn't actually even think it was going to go anywhere, and it just kind of picked up steam. We made another one, and that one got a lot of views. We made another one, and eventually we had a whole season on our hands, and 6 Point Harness and Mondo both said, let's keep going.
Everybody had some time to work on whatever sort of ideas they wanted, and they had to just do a couple pages of writing, and Ed came in with the 40-second cartoon.
So there's been some evolution.
Yeah.
They don't look anything like they did in the original.
Were you guys surprised in the original incarnation that it became as popular as it became?
I think we're all equally surprised, yes.
Yeah, still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Zach and I have always just been writing and making them kind of like right off the cuff. Some of the episodes we don't even know what they're going to be until the week that we're actually creating them to come out the next week. So the whole thing's really just been kind of a surprising, impromptu journey all the way through.
And very homemade, too. It's always funny to watch these guys tapping on shoulders around the studio to come in and do a voice in the booth, you know.
That's great.
I think the first episode, the first 3 episodes we did, we actually didn't even have our recording studio here where we do the lines now. It's way more legit. But at first we just did it in my apartment. But I had hardwood floors at the time and it was really noisy. So Zach and I had to sit down in like a desk chair and put a duvet, like one at a time, and read our scripts with a flashlight under this blanket to keep the sound like from echoing everywhere. So we took a photo of it. It's like the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
I love it.
Overkill!
Dicks.
You've been making this for 4 seasons, and then tell me about coming up with the plan to do a Kickstarter campaign.
I got it! Kickstarter!
Zach and I actually always wanted to do a feature film. That we came from USC and met at the production program there. So we were always very like, we were just waiting for our chance to make a feature film. And we had actually gone out to pitch to studios. Like we'd gone down the street and talked to these big places about like we want to do a film, we want to like get a movie off the ground. And all of them were interested, but didn't really know what to do with it because it's like a little web series. It was like they didn't know if it was going to be for kids or adults. And we just kind of gave up on the hassle and decided we'd just do it ourselves. All the fans wanted to do it anyway, and we had the reach for it. So we thought, what the hell?
What was the challenge with the original episodes, 1 to 2 minutes long, then to go from that to doing a feature version?
It was a lot different, I think, just all the way through, like writing, just producing the thing, and even like animating it. There's so many more pieces to deal with.
Ed and Zach have been working more or less as like an independent unit with a little bit of support for the series, but they had to wrangle and run a pretty sizable crew for the movie.
So you weren't in your bedroom with the duvet like recording the...
Thank God, not this time. But the crew like actually came together really well, and I think they were all ready for the challenge as well, because the web series, we did them so fast. Like it's like the quickest little turnaround. When we sat down and said, okay, we're gonna make a movie and we're gonna make it amazing, they all said, let's do it! And I'm just blown away with the stuff they did in the film. I'm super proud of them all. So
can you give me a little kind of broad stroke pitch of what happens to Red and Blue in the movie and like some of the characters they run into?
Yeah, so Red and Blue need to go on a quest. It's Pink's birthday, Blue's girlfriend. So they go on a quest to get her a present. And to do this, they have to chase down a sword on the recommendation of the raccoon and get lost out in the world hunting down the pieces of this blade.
I should have never gone on this stupid quest! I would have been better off getting her that bear trap! Oh, you mean that sweet hat?
And it's halfway through the movie about when we find out that they've never actually been friends. So they're stuck together and turned into worst enemies.
I hate you.
Who are some of the characters that we meet in the movie?
We do meet one new character, Captain Major Lieutenant Crookygrin, who's a blind, drunk ex-RAF pilot who picks them up later in the film, and he's probably one of the biggest new characters we introduced, but he's a blast to write.
He's a blind pilot.
He has alcohol blindness.
Is that one of the fun things about doing animation is you can really write almost anything?
I want to eat a dinosaur!
And is that kind of a tricky landscape too?
We'll write stuff down and like we'll laugh really hard at it, and then look at it 5 minutes later and say, wait, that's the stupidest thing. We can't like put that in the movie. But then some of them, like at one point, Red pretends to be a crab and people are trying to eat him on a platter. That was probably the weirdest moment we got in the film. But we laughed really hard when we were writing it, so we're like, okay, we'll just keep it in there.
So at 6 Point, when Ed and Zach present, like, here's our story, okay, now Red turns into a crab and there's a blind pilot, like, how does that work?
Yeah, there's a lot of blind faith, actually. I think really one of the magical formulas to what makes stick figures work is that we don't get in Ed and Zach's way. Generally, they're smarter than we are, or they're smarter than I am.
Weirder, maybe.
They're weirder, yeah. But you know, they have 4 seasons worth of making hundreds of millions of people laugh. Who are we to sort of say that's not funny?
The movie's coming out really soon. I mean, what's the anticipation?
Zach and I have obviously been working on it for like a year now, so we've seen it like so many times. But I'm excited to see what the fans think of it. I hope they like it. It's just a really exciting time. I think it hasn't really hit home yet that it's gonna be out, but I'm sure the day it launches, it'll come rushing in. I'll read comments and go cry somewhere. No, I'm super stoked.
Bros, this is like crazy, right?
Well, certainly, speaking for the folks at CineFix, we love movies, and we're really excited that you guys are doing this because we definitely want to empower people to do it themselves, and it seems like that's the entire model you guys are following.
Yeah, Zach and I have always had our fingers crossed. We hope that if this works, then yeah, we'll see a lot more kind of indie content come out, and more people can get their ideas made and out into the world. It'd be really exciting.
I definitely tip my hat to that, and I think that's a great attitude. And I think it's going to be very successful, and I'm waiting
Thank
for
you.
part 2 because I loved part 1. I want it to continue.
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah.
Sayonara!
If you want to be like me, if you want to be groovy, then subscribe to CineFix and keep up with the best movies! Like Dick Figures the movie, of course! Yeah.